Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Weekly Mystic Forecast. I'm so excited to be here and I'm really excited for you and what you're going to receive out of this as well. The Weekly Mystic Forecast is your soulful snapshot of the lunar transits and our cosmic currents, our herbal allies to support us through these energies, and a ritual or embodiment practice to bring it all together in mind, body, and soul for you. Welcome. I'm Stacy with love from Stacy, where everything is brought to you from me with love. So let's begin. Our theme for this week, April 28th to May 4th, is Rooted Radiance and Sensual Awakening. How amazing is that, hey? I don't know about you, but this sounds like an amazing week to me. So let's dive into our lunar transits first, okay? So our phases that we go through this week, because the moon moves about every 2.5 days. It moves not only from sign to sign, but it also moves, well, this is loose. I can't, let's just say 2 to 3 days. The moon moves through, not only does it move through the astrology signs, it also moves through its phases, okay? Because we have 8 phases in a 28 to 29 day cycle, and it jumps through a few days at a time in each phase. So not only do we get to explore different energies of the phases, because each of those are very unique, we also get to dive into a different astrology energy in the different phases. How fun is that, hey? So I'm going to begin with our phases. So April 27th, that was yesterday, because I'm recording this today on Monday, the 28th. The 27th was our new moon. I would have loved to have included that in this video, but I was out on a really big, beautiful hike, and such is life. So here we are. We're starting still in this new moon energy. I'm cool with that. I know you're going to be cool with it too. So the new moon, this was in Taurus. So what this was all about was really about, so a new moon is where we plant our seeds of intention. The energy of a new moon is deep and quiet, dark, inward, and still. So when we combine those elements with the energy of Taurus, which is all about grounding, stability, pleasure, sensuality, and patience, wow, what a winning combo, hey? We have an opportunity to really plant seeds in not only a spiritual and ethereal way, but also to it's almost like it makes it more real, because we have this deep earthiness about the intentions that we're planting, right? This is like a very like Taurus is, it's a very physical, earthy sign. So when we're planting these seeds, I mean, we can even do this quite literally, because it is also springtime. So we could go and we could plant some seeds and sow our intentions into the seeds literally in the earth. If that's not available to you, that's cool too. It doesn't have to be in the earth, but you can still feel that quite literal energy of planting seeds. So this feels like a really big intention setting new moon. Also because it was a super moon. So just amplified, it's wow. Please take advantage. We are still in the new moon energy. You still have time. If you have not done so already, you still have time to dive in with a little ritual for yourself. And maybe by the end of this video, you will have your ritual, because we will be covering that. And you can still plant amazing intentions and take advantage of the incredible Taurus energy of the new moon that we are in right now. That being said, we are moving now into our waxing crescent. So this is where we see the first sliver of light after total darkness on the moon. And so the waxing crescent is all about building energy, building momentum, and starting to take inspired action in relation to the seeds and intentions that we stated in the new moon phase. Okay, so think about that for a moment. We're building momentum. The energy is building. We are taking inspired action in the direction in which we want to go. We are doing this in the energy of Gemini, okay? Because our moon moves into Gemini on the 29th. So that's tomorrow. How cool is that? Gemini is very curious. Gemini is all about communication, curiosity, creativity. There's like so much happening in the mind for Gemini. The sky is the limit, literally, because Gemini is also an air sign. So I feel like this building of energy with the moon and with the Gemini sign is just like this amazing, like beautiful marriage of energy, and they dance so well together, as does the new moon in Taurus. So I feel like some of the ways in which we're going to be going about taking action or planting our seeds of intention, like these they feel so naturally aligned to each other with the energies that are at play right now. It's amazing. I love this stuff. I just love it. So we have our moon in our waxing crescent from the 28th until about the 2nd, okay? But on the 1st, so just before we move into the first quarter is where now the moon will be like half lit and half dark, okay? So the light side of the moon is growing. We are building energy, and as we do so, we keep building energy. Again, it feels like such a natural, like beautiful dance together, because the energy that we will be moving into for this is Cancer. And Cancer is this amazing, watery, nurturing, nourishing energy. So like, how awesome is that? As things start to build and as things are growing and we're taking more action, we come into this emotional alignment, okay? So that's kind of like the Cancerian influence in our first quarter here. We're coming into this emotional alignment, and then we're able to create and take decisive action in the direction in which we want to go, again, in relation to the seeds we planted at the new moon, okay? So, with the Cancer influence, again, where I feel like it's such a beautiful marriage of energy, is because sometimes this can be really scary to do, right? We might be entering new territory for ourselves in ways that we've never done before. And with that Cancer energy, it's a very like nurturing, mothering, nourishing energy, and it helps us to feel safe while taking those actions and stepping into those new zones or territories where we've maybe never gone before. Or if we have gone before, maybe we've gotten scared off and we backtracked. But the Cancer energy is really going to help nourish us and care for us, helping us feel safe and cared for as we progress forward towards our goals, our dreams, our desires. So it just, again, it feels like this perfect intuitive blend here. And again, and Cancer is, it does hold a lot of intuition in its energy. So as we're taking these decisive action or making decisive action and coming into emotional alignment, we are more open to intuitive information that's going to come through and help us with that decision making and help us with our emotional alignment and help point our compass in the direction in which we really desire to be going. So yeah, it like, does it get any more beautiful than this? This is why I live my life by the moon, because it's beautiful. It's this beautiful divine flow. And as women, no matter if you're a man or a woman, we all have masculine and feminine energies at play. I know that like I'm a Taurus sun, my moon is Sag, and my rising is Capricorn. So like with that Capricorn influence, I definitely have no trouble getting into my masculine energy. But the moon, she reflects a woman's energy. The moon, she's very feminine, and just like a woman's body, we flow through our cycle. No 2 days are the same, and neither is it with the moon. So when I sync up with her, it's just this beautiful co-creation, and divine dance that takes place as I flow with her energy instead of either ignoring it or going against it. Okay, so some really important lunar shifts are going to be the emotional deepening as we move into Cancer. So if this feels a little bit scary for you, definitely practice grounding, okay? We may at some time through the through this phase, this next week or so, we may feel a little bit like we're in two separate worlds. We've got one, and that's okay. That's okay. So we may have one foot, or it would be important to have one foot into our Taurian energy because we're in the Taurus sun season. So keep one foot in that like deep, earthy, grounding, patient, resilient energy where we can always come back into our physical senses to really help us remain present and grounded. The other foot is going to be dancing in the ethers. That's that Gemini and a little bit of the Cancer, but especially the Gemini energy. As we are floating around in the ethers a little bit here, we can still make sure that we are acting from inner alignment as well, okay? And that grounding with the Taurian energy is really going to help us remain in alignment. Okay, so if you feel like you're floating off a little bit, or things are getting a little bit scary or a little bit too emotional for you, and you're like, rah, come back to that grounding, come back to the physical senses, the body, the earth, you know, like just come back to the present moment. When we're future tripping, as my friend Kara put it beautifully in one of her recent posts, when we're future tripping, like worrying, that means that we're assuming we can predict the future, and that is not the case. We are not able to predict the future. We can get intuitive hits that can help guide us, but we cannot entirely predict the future. We can set intentions. Again, that'll help point us where we want to go, but can we predict everything that's going to happen along the way? No. So if you feel like you're getting a little bit outside of yourself, come back to the present moment, ground your energy, connect with your divine essence, your energy, and just bring it home, okay? So that kind of wraps up our lunar shifts for this week. So I'm going to move into a little bit of a moon magic focus for you. So, very important, as I stated, ground in that Taurian energy. This is going to be a big help for you as we move through some of these other phases and transits that are happening, especially like, I'm not talking about all the other planetary shifts because those ones are wild right now. Those are wild. April energy was like kapow. May is like, whew, it's a little bit of a reprieve, but still things are a little bit like, so just all I gotta say, ground into that Taurian energy, ground into it, okay? So some suggested intention or inner work you can do, and again, like this is just a loose suggestion. You will, if you tune in, you will know exactly where you can focus, but just a suggestion is where, and this is like in alignment with that Taurian flow, is where could I create a little bit more security, but also pleasure and beauty in my life. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is Aphrodite. That's our goddess archetype that's kind of activated right now. And she's all about pleasure, love, abundance, sensuality, beauty. Like, it's Aphrodite. So, and Aphrodite is the lover. She is the lover. So, to kind of amplify on that, like how can I love myself more? Where can I show and exhibit more love in my life to those around me, to the life that I've created? Like, you'll know what's true for you and where to direct this for yourself, but really tapping into where we can create more beauty, pleasure, and also security, because Taurus is really like, Taurus loves structure, stability, grounding. We want to know like kind of the like we like the framework, what's the template, the framework. So And yeah, okay, so I feel like that kind of wraps up everything for our lunar transits that I wanted to talk about this week. So that's our cosmic current section. Let's move on to our herbal ally. I picked a beautiful herb to go in conjunction with this amazing Taurian, Venusian, kind of like sensuality, Aphrodite energy that we have carrying us through the sun season right now. And to balance out some of these other things that are happening, like Cancer and Gemini. So in the spirit of all that, I chose Damiana. This is a really, really cool herb. It's traditionally been used as an aphrodisiac and a bit of a mood enhancer in pretty much from like Mexico further south through like Central and South America for centuries. I would say centuries. It really awakens our inner lover. It relaxes and opens us. It's a heart-opening herb. It's beautiful. The energetic properties are that it's, you know, sensuality, heart-opening, uplifting, and really emotionally empowering. So you can see why this feels like a really beautiful herb to pair with this. So, and I actually have my Damiana tea brewing right here. Oh, a little hot tip. When you're brewing tea for yourself, cover it up. Okay, so I've got my herbs in my little doodah here, the strainer, and mine comes with a lid. If you are brewing a tea for yourself and it's in a tea ball or something like that, or even if you just pop a tea bag in there, just cover your cup and let it sit for about 10 minutes, and it keeps all of the volatile oils and potent medicinal constituents in the cup so they don't escape out into the room while it's steeping. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just drain this right now. I think it's ready. Okay. So some of the physical properties. So like the energies that it can influence, I just spoke about there, but some of the physical properties are that it's a nervine tonic, which this is probably how it helps as an aphrodisiac. It really helps relax the nervous system so we can open up a little bit more and soften. So yes, aphrodisiac. And it also supports reproductive health. So this is a wonderful women's herb as well. So contraindications, this are things to watch out for. Avoid if pregnant, maybe breastfeeding as well. And if you're on any medications, it's always good to check with your medical practitioner to make sure that any herbs that you want to introduce into your life do not bump up against in a yucky way against any medications that you're on. So Damiana really supports our libido and our sexual energy. Is that ever a bad thing? That's an amazing thing. It really helps with our creativity and our self-expression. So this is how, like, why I feel like this is just the most beautiful herb to pair with this Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer phase that we're going through here, because with all this creative and emotional expression, like that's like, hello, that's our Gemini and Cancer right there. Nervous system relaxation and mood support, Taurus all the way. It can be really helpful for when you're working with your hormonal health and your menstrual health. Like I said, it's a beautiful women's herb, and this is a beautiful Aphrodite herb because it opens up this like other aspect of us as a woman, like kind of this like wild woman, the lover, the kind of like a creative muse type energy. So it has a really like it's almost a little bit savory tasting in a way. It smells and tastes very kind of neutral, just like herbal, but then there's this like last little note that reminds me of almost like uva ursi, or like also known as kinnikinnick or bearberry, like a savoriness, like almost like bay leaves or something. So yeah, this is the perfect herbal ally to carry you through this week. It's not a hard herb to find. A lot of natural health stores will carry this. I ordered mine online. It was not hard to get. If you are interested in exploring this herb more and are not sure where to get it, you can always reach out to me and I can help you with that, or share some of my supply with you. Ways to work with this herb. So honestly, one of the easiest and most beautiful ways to work with a herb is to just drink it as a tea. It's just that simple. Steep it as a tea. It is one of the most conscious, spiritual, medicinal ways that we can ingest and work with a herb, because it's much more conscious. Popping a pill or taking a tincture is more like a medicine, and that's not exactly the way herbal medicine works, especially from a medicine woman. We drink the tea, we infuse the tea with energy, we drink the tea, and we sit with the herb and with ourself while we drink the tea. It's very that's what I mean, it's very conscious. So that's what I ultimately recommend is tea. If that does not work for you, you can also take a tincture. Tinctures are also really easy to make. I would love to do a tincture making video with you guys. But if you want to get really deep, you could also infuse some cacao or honey for a little bit of a deeper, sensual, heart-opening ritual or ceremony for yourself. Okay, so let's move on to the last section of our video. This is our embodiment ritual, okay? And I feel like this is, again, just a beautiful marriage of the herbs, of the energies that play right now, and what it might be bringing up for us inside. So this is a speak your pleasure spell. It sounds a little bit nutty, doesn't it? Oh, like some sort of like little love spell or potion or something. Okay, so if you are working with Damiana this week, if you have it, if you are ordering it and you finally get your hands on it, you can go ahead and make a cup of tea for yourself. And have your tea sitting, resting while we come into a comfortable seated position. You can close your eyes, take a few breaths in and out as you center and ground your energy. And then you can take one hand over the heart chakra, one hand over the sacral chakra, which is also kind of our womb space and like our deeply feminine, creative energy center. I'm kind of just starting to dive deeper into the second chakra energy lately, and it's wild. And just feel your energy breathing through the crown all the way down to the earth, and then from the earth back up and out of the crown. You can cycle the breath this way a few times for yourself, and then coming to rest your awareness on your sacral chakra. As you inhale, draw energy deep down into the lower belly. And as you exhale, let the air leave the body, but hold the energy in your sacral chakra, in your womb space. And again, as you inhale, feel the energy holding in the body. As you exhale the air out. You might even feel this energy center growing and radiating, maybe even a little bit of warmth or light. And in this energetically active state that you're in, I invite you to state anywhere between 1 to maybe up to about 3 of your desires or your intentions at this time. And you can write them on a piece of paper, or you can just say them out loud. But as you speak these out loud, let it just be this like a pleasurable movement of sound and energy through the body, as if you are speaking a spell. Invite any type of intuitive movement or sound into this. You can even dance if that feels good for you. Be really sensual about this for yourself. Remember, we are working with Aphrodite through Taurus season, so don't be afraid to make it really feel good. And you can sit in this type of practice for as long as feels good, as long as it feels pleasurable. So that wraps up our embodiment practice. You can, when you're finished with that, I'm going to leave it open to you. I'm going to leave it open to you. You can, again, like I said, you can kind of lock this into the body through dance. Maybe make some noise, maybe move the body, something to really lock it in with that Taurus energy. But this week, you do not need to hustle to make it happen, okay? You need to feel it, you need to name it, and you need to let it, and then you speak it, and you let the energy build, okay? I learned this really cool saying, and it just keeps echoing in my head all the time. It's be, do, have, okay? So that's what I mean, but we don't have to hustle to have it. We tune into who we need to be. Then we take actions inspired by that, and then everything else follows. It's really cool. So this week is about nourishing what we've planted. It's about allowing the seeds to grow with love and care and presence. Okay, that's that Taurus, right? That presence, that groundedness. Just slow down and let the energy flow, okay? Just let the energy flow. And find your grounding. I cannot stress that enough. Grounding. Let's see here if I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Yeah, pleasure, creativity. Just let it all flow, ladies. So if this felt like medicine to you, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. And that way you and anyone who you think would benefit from these kind of videos will not miss anything each week. There'll be a new video that comes out every single week with new herbal allies, updated lunar transits and cosmic currents, and a fresh embodiment practice to bring it all home for you. So if you're also craving a little bit deeper support with this, go ahead and reach out to me with a message. I always have space open for a Mystic Matriarch mentorship and journey. I'm trying to think of the best word here, journey. This is a 3 or 6 month journey together where we dive deep into working with the moon and plants, the earth, and your energy, bringing it together to bring you up into the highest octave that we can through that journey together. So again, subscribe, like, and share with a sister. I will see you guys next week. Stay rooted and grow wild.